afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, July 27, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Whatever we focus on, this cannot be said enough with this civilization. Whatever we focus on grows and expands in energy. It is a proven fact. Whatever we focus on grows and expands in energy, no matter what it is, becoming more magnetic in our life. If we focus on never having enough money, we manifest the physical reality of never having enough. Most of us already know this. Yet, why aren't we able to keep our mind on visualizing what we want and off of what we don't want? This is across the board. It's not just money, it's health, happiness, everything. You might remember when you were in the best physical shape of your life. Could you ever expect yourself to win a gold medal at the Olympics without any proper training? This is the state of your mind, the state your mind is in. It has not been trained yet to live in the land of abundance consciousness. It wanders from one state of lack to the next. It cannot remain long enough on visualizing abundance to gain any new strength or power. It wanders from one state of lack to the next. It cannot remain long enough on visualizing abundance to gain any new strength or power. You can retrain your brain to think only abundant thoughts with practice. Your mind may try to wander down the roads of poverty thinking, yet it won't be able to. Your abundance muscles will be so strong, it won't be able to. This inner work is powerful and will shift you out of any poverty consciousness you thought you were stuck in forever. Once you create a habit, okay, and usually you probably run the habit, it takes a while, about 90 days. It tends to stick for the rest of your life. All of us deserve the best of everything. We deserve to have financial freedom in our future. We deserve to have enough to give our family so that they never have to worry about money again. One of the most liberating ways to step out of poverty consciousness, and open your brain up to positive thoughts and visualizations about becoming a super manifesting money magnet starts with letting go of any negative ideas or judgments you have around money. Start opening yourself up to meditating on this thought for 5 minutes first thing in the morning. Money is a form of spiritual energy, and I have access to an infinite amount of it. That's a mantra statement, right? Money is a form of spiritual energy, and I have access to an infinite amount of it. Now, if you were to focus on the RV, the financial shift, so to speak, on this planet, the reason any of that is maturing into reality is because of one thing. You. Period. It's because of one thing. You, all of us. We're not like the RV, right? Where did that get its energy? You. Now, that doesn't mean that you're totally clear and consciously aware of that. That's where all of this begins. Our relationship with money determines the quality of lifestyle that we will have, how we'll play the game of this life, how we're affected by money. The money abundant our relationship is, the more money abundant our relationship is, the more money we can manifest. You see, a lot of people believe that they should be poor because it's not good to have wealth. Wealth is evil. This is how a lot of people justify their status in poverty. Wealth is evil. You're supposed to be a poor person. Humble, poor, struggling. And this is some of the mindsets of people on planet Earth. When in reality, excuse me, in reality, it's the opposite. It is much easier to receive money when you don't separate it from spiritual energy. The more people in the world you can help to become financially free, the more they will help you achieve financial freedom. And this is an important understanding, because people who are in things for themselves, all right? So they gain and they get and they gain and they get and they gain and they get, but they don't help others gain and get. Huge difference. Think about having feelings of financial freedom. Think about it. It is tapping into the higher vibrational energies and consciousness that come with them. These feelings of joy, freedom, and unbounded possibility are what allow you to share your financial abundance with others so that it grows in their lives. When we start doing things that can enlighten and inspire others around us, when we also become inspired and enlightened in the process, this is an enlightened global community-based way of being is created by focusing on what we can give back to this world. This gifting energy is what will bring in more joy, peace, and eventually financial abundance. Now, obviously, we don't do it to get. That's a fine line. Well, I'm going to help these people because then I'm going to get something out of it. I'll receive something by helping people. It must come from the heart mind. I'm going to help these people because I want to. I'm not expecting anything in return for it. I want to help them. This is a gifting energy. This is a gifting energy is what will bring in more joy, peace, and eventually financial abundance. The first step to financial freedom starts with simply asking yourself the deepest question: how can I help others instead of what's in it for me? How can I help others instead of what's in it for me? Well, most people, unfortunately, they gravitate towards, and it's kind of skewed a little bit, they gravitate towards, I'm going to help others because I know I'll get something out of it. Okay. What's in it for me? All right, if I'm going to do this for you, what are you going to do for me? See? If I'm going to do this for you, then what am I going to get out of it? Isn't the big question about how you can best serve others? Feeling abundant is the best energy you can give others around you. The sensation of plenty is what most of us are yearning to feel. Where you have so much of things, right, that those worries and stresses they're obliterated. You don't have them. And even though the ego mind says, wow, you got to be careful because, you will run out. But when you have an overabundance, that's eliminated. Financial freedom is basically manifested in two ways. The first is through creating a sacred relationship with money so that you are not attached to how much or how little of it you have. The first is through creating a sacred relationship with money, genuinely, not forced, so that you are not attached to how much or how little of it you have. You may have $1 zillion in the bank, or owe the bank $1 zillion, and it doesn't really matter at all. You are still emotionally at peace with money, yourself, this world, and everyone in it. This is what living in paradise is all about. Be the change you wish to see in the world. We all know Gandhi said that. The second path to manifesting financial freedom is to do everything you can each day to raise your vibration and become a powerful super manifesting being. Start by asking yourself, what actions can I take in this world that make my heart sing and contribute to the lives of others? Do not worry do not worry if what you do will provide an income at first. The creativity inside you will find a way to make the money flow. You'll also receive much more success the more often you get out of your comfort zone and meet new people every day. One of the biggest discrepancies with this civilization, and there are people that do this throughout life, but very few. Network, right? A network of people. You build a network of people. You keep that network of people your whole life. You keep infusing it, energizing it. Huge. It's absolutely huge. People who have networks have several times more support than family, than actual blood family, okay, throughout their lives. And getting out of your comfort zone is not easy because most of us get into that. When you habitualize, when you get in habit, and we all do it, what happens is that it gets comfortable. You ever notice that? And then it gets more and more difficult to do something outside of that comfort zone. Hey, Sam, let's get together. Let's do this. Maybe some other time. And Sam just stays in that comfort zone. So you also receive much more success the more often you get out of your comfort zone and meet new people every day. This induces making phone calls from your heart, writing emails with enthusiasm, and connecting with everyone in the outer world. This is not about coming from a place of desperation. It's about getting off of the sideline and into the playing field of the financial game in your life. It may also mean deciding to become your own boss or start your own business. The most profound path is the middle path, where you have a balance between these two strategies to discover financial freedom. When you are inwardly free from any attachment to money on such a deep emotional level, you will stop worrying and obsessing about it. When you are inwardly free from any attachment to money on such a deep emotional level, you will stop worrying and obsessing about it. When you realize that everything in this material world is impermanent, that everything will come and go, you will no longer be so attached. Remember, there are no pockets in heaven. You don't get to take anything with you when you leave that body you're in and physically die. So don't get too attached to anything of this world. Finding a healthy relationship with money means that you are energetically connected to it, and yet absolutely free from it. That's really important. Finding a healthy relationship with money means that you are energetically connected to it, and yet absolutely free from it. It means you are tapping into a spiritual power that is far beyond money, where you know that you can manifest as much of it if you choose to. The first law of manifesting states that whatever you focus on grows. Pretty simple. So the more you can relax and receive this, the feeling of being financially free, the more you will attract the situations that create more abundance in your life. When you take time to stop, relax, and feel what it's like to be supported by this loving, conscious universe, no fear or worry can touch you, period. When you take time to stop, relax, and feel what it's like to be supported by this loving, conscious universe, no fear or worry can touch you. And the only way to find that out is try it. Right now, allow yourself to relax. Open your heart up and feel what it's like to make all the money you want provided for. Let yourself truly relax and hang out on that inner beach and enjoy your life today. Keep imagining you are relaxing in paradise. The warm sand is in between your toes, the warm ocean water in front of you, and the vast blue sky above. But best of all, you're receiving a monthly passive income of $10,000 plus every month. However much you deem. Notice what happens in your body when you say to yourself, I received a check of $10,000 last month. I'll receive one every month for the rest of my life. Does your body get tense, tight, sacred, scared, or truly deeply relaxed? Just notice how your body responds. This is a tiny taste for what true financial freedom will be like. Now, I believe you haven't stumbled upon this information by chance, right? Yet that you were divinely guided to this meditation. I feel the universe is trying to help you create the life of your dreams. And that can be taught to you how to do this. It's people that have paid, been focused on the financial reset of the planet and the revaluation of currencies and all of these things. It's the intent. It's not the fear of not having. It's the intent. It's what we decide to project. Right? That's it, period. It's not about anything else. It's about what you decide to project to the universe yourself. And to eliminate the clutter, right? The things we've been taught when we grew up, and the influences. And, I've known people where their parents would always say as they were growing up, we can't afford that, we can't afford that, we can't afford that, we can't afford that. You can't have that, you can't have that, you can't have that, we can't afford that, we can't afford that. And after so many years of that, that person takes on that mantle, the same similar mantle that the parents had. And they end up spending most of their life worrying, stressing, and fearing about not having enough. You see? And so anything that we acquire while we're in these bodies is temporary. It's temporary. Okay? So we come across things and we acquire things and we enjoy things and we do this and do that, but it's temporary. Nothing in this very moment that you hold, right, material-wise in your life, is permanent. No matter how your ego mind attaches to it, it's temporary. And always has been. That's why the now, right, is all we have. And the now actually is the key to the journey within, to our association with wealth, money, finances, all of it. That's the key. Now, I'm not saying because we're all habitualized, right? We get in the habit, we get in our comfort zones, and we stay there. And when these bodies are younger, right? We really take a lot more risks. Period. When we were very young, we took a lot of risk in a lot of things. We didn't really think about it. We just did it, right? But as you so-called mature and you get to the point where you get fearful and I got too much at stake. I can't take that risk. And so we withdraw from risk when we should be expanding more with risk. It's a proven fact that the older people get and the more risk they take, the longer their lives are. Period. Fact. Right? But what happens? Comfort zone sets in. And then the body gets older and older and older. And the comfort zone sets in. And so less and less and less and less and less risk. And you grow old faster. And the brain gets cobwebs. And your responsiveness becomes lethargic. And the comfort of that is saying, oh no, I've got to stay here in this area. It's safe. I'm too old to take risks anymore. I can't take them. When I was younger, yeah, footloose, fancy free, but not now. You see how the ego mind works us, manipulates us? When every single moment of our existence in these bodies is sacred, absolutely sacred, untouchable. But the majority of us don't view it that way. We take many things for granted, which is pretty average, right? And we go along the life until the cycle of the body. And we all know that. We all know that cycle most of the time. That cycle that the body is ending. We all know that. We know that feeling. We've been in that feeling many, many, many times before. And responses are fear, worry, unknown, right? And since we really have not taken risks for so very, very, very long, it's scary. Unknown. What's out there? What's going to happen when I leave the body? So it's like you form your life. You form it. You're the architect. You're the builder. You're the contractor. You're the workers. You build your life. You build your foundation. You do it all. If you're in poverty consciousness because you were influenced as you grew, right, from external authorities, you will live a life of poverty consciousness. And you will continue to track poverty consciousness. But if you decided to shift gears somewhere along the way, you said to yourself, you are wealthy and abundant beyond imagination. Okay? And you took on the trust and faith in yourself and the universe without doubt. And you knew that what you stated, what you asked for, without a shadow of a doubt, you knew that it would manifest. You just knew it. And we're not talking about ego mind, we're talking heart mind. We're not talking about arrogance or overconfidence. We're talking about knowing. You're talking about knowing. And that is the middle path. That's the now. That's where it's all connected. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. And we relax our bodies through our breath. This is how we begin. You focus on your breath. You breathe like you normally breathe, right? And as you breathe in, breath in through the nose, it's slow, easy in, slow, easy out the mouth. When you do this, you immediately move yourself out of yesterday, tomorrow, and into now. Period. It's automatic. When you do this, you experience a lot of goodies. You experience the fact that the 60,000 thoughts plus that you put out every day aren't there. The tens of millions and billions of thoughts that fly by like clouds in the sky, which of 99.999% of them aren't yours, aren't there. They're programs, but they're not there. The mind chatter that we all have, right? The noise, isn't there. Worry, stress, fear, anxiety, all of that stuff, greed, envy, it's not there. You then begin to understand that all of your life has been an illusion. The ego mind is an illusion. The mind is an illusion. It creates the ego to help assist it in its insecurities. So the now, you don't go away into a hole somewhere. You're only existing moment to moment. You are in deep gratitude moment to moment. That's it. You're not vying for something 10 years, 5 years, tomorrow, the next day, a week, an hour, whatever. You're not vying for that. You're not even interested in that. It isn't even in your thought process. You're only focused on the now and your breath. This, in turn, has a lot of benefits. It relaxes the body you're in. It's the only way to relax the body. Right? So you truly relax the body. So when you relax the body through your breath, moving into the now, you de-stress the body immediately. You eliminate worry, fear, anxiety, all in the now, in the moment. And none of us, there isn't any of us, truly, through the heart mind, that can honestly say that we're going to wake up tomorrow. Right? None of us can say that. Really, truly. Right? Some of us might fake it. Oh, yes, I will. Oh, absolutely. See, doesn't it make sense that by moving into the now, we are no longer the slaves of the material physical world? We're no longer the slaves. We know that we're in command, that we have the mastership of our lives, that we know how to manifest whatever we choose to manifest. We also know that we can manifest things that aren't pleasant, that aren't fun, that are disruptive. See, it's becoming aware. And it isn't judging. And the only way that you're going to master the ego mind, the illusion, all right, is by being in the now. Because you can watch them without judgment in the now. So you begin to understand how they operate, how they work. You'll be able to identify thoughts and feelings and emotions that are predicated the ego mind. They stem from the ego mind. So you say, that's an ego mind feeling. I am not interested in entertaining it. That's an ego mind thought. I am not interested in entertaining it, so therefore I won't. And you're not angry about it. You know, you're not revengeful about it. You know in your heart mind, that is not the way you choose to go, or that's not the way you choose to roll. And you begin to gravitate towards what? After a while, this confidence, this conscious trust, you form with yourself and with the universe. So you have no doubt that your entire stay in that body will not be from poverty consciousness. You will not worry about money because it will always be plentiful. It's when we become manipulated by the ego mind and the material world where lack of comes in. Suffering. Lack of fear of not having. Right? All these fears that the ego mind generates. This is when we're not in the now. This is when we're in tomorrow or yesterday. And when that happens this is what happens to us. We have fear of dying. We have fear of living. We have fear of wealth. We have fear of poverty. We have fear of happiness. We have fear of sadness. We have fear of love. We have fear of hate. We have fear of failure. And I could go on for hours. In other words, we fear everything to a certain extent and level. All of us do. The reason is because the ego mind is in charge. That's the only reason that fear is so prevalent. You'll know that you're not controlled by the ego mind when you don't feel compelled to express anything to anyone. Where you don't feel compelled to, well, I've got to tell them that I've mastered this and I'm good at this and I'm good at that. And I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's all ego mind. And of course, it's insecurity. But with the heart mind and in the now, moment to moment, that doesn't exist. You don't feel compelled to compete, to outdo yourself and others, to look for status, to look for adoration, right? That's all ego mind. And the things they seem simple, right? But when you get caught up in the day, in the course of a 24-hour day of life, right? There's all of these divots, right? That you have to maneuver. And you get sidetracked, you get distracted. And you get sidetracked and you get distracted. And so you might say, well, geez, I haven't been in the now much today. That's not negative. That's a good thing because you're able to identify it. Man, I've been more in yesterday and tomorrow than I've even come close to being in the now today. That's a good thing to be able to identify that. It's important to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself all the time. All the time. It's an automatic. And also be of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, the purest of the purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. At all times. It's like practicing it constantly. It literally is like practicing it constantly. Not like it's a burden. It's fun. So when we look at all ourselves, right, and we see others, and we see other things with our eyes, with these bodies, in the heart mind, everything is one. Okay? Everything is one. In the ego mind, everything is separate. So we all, in the ego mind, which most of us have been trained to be in for eons, we look at the yesterday and tomorrow, right? We find ourselves standing in front of three paths. And we're familiar with these paths, right? We're in the center path, the now. And then there's one on the left, which is yesterday, and the one on the right, which is tomorrow. Past, future. Now we look at them, these paths, and we notice that the trees have formed a golden canopy over each path, shimmering leaves and golden branches. And we notice the path itself is a brilliant emerald green flaming grass, right? That's what it appears to be. We notice that the past, yesterday path on the left, is really worn. It's just been used a heck of a lot. And the one on the right, the future path, tomorrow, same, been used a heck of a lot. The path we're standing on, the center, the now, looks brand new. It really, you can't even tell if it's been used at all. And the reason this is because the ego mind does not exist in the now. And this is why so many species of life, right, that gods inhabit, are controlled by the ego mind. Now, not to certain extents, certain degrees. Some less than others, some more than others. Conflict throughout the cosmos. Wars and conflict and galactic wars and battles and everything. All ego mind. It's a separation of the civilization that has been influenced to believe that it is separate. Okay? So, powerful manifestation means that if you believe it's separate, it's separate. So it is, so it shall be. So we all reminisce, right? We all get nostalgia. We have memories, of course, and we review them at times. Boy, wasn't that a great time? Would you guys like to do that again? Oh yeah, that'd be great. And then, I wouldn't care to do that again, would you? No. I tried it that way, it didn't work. It totally blew up in my face. Right? But it's kind of fun because we have this reference library, this great hall. All of us have one, right? And it's vast because we have a subconscious mind, which is also an illusion, by the way, and it records everything, not just this lifetime, but all the lifetimes that we participated in. And it records it all. You come into this baby body, and it starts, and it records everything around you, all of your interactions, everything. And then it randomly plays it back. This is when you have this is when you're in a situation, traveling along, sitting with a group of people, walking in a park or the woods, and all of a sudden, you go, this is really familiar. You could be with a friend or somebody, and you can sit here and say, this is really familiar. What do you mean? Well, I've been here before. I've done this exact thing before. And you know what's interesting? You have. And it may not have been the lifetime you're in. It could have been another one. It's an absolute fact. You have done that before. More than once. So we'll take the past, right? Yesterday. We'll go in. We'll open the door. We'll turn on the light. We'll walk into the great hall. Now, when you walk into a room, we all do this. Whether you're consciously aware of it or not. You flash your eyes on the ceiling and the walls, right? Briefly. Well, when you walk into your great hall, there's no walls or ceilings. That place is so big. It's vast. You look down one of the aisles, and it's endless. You don't see a wall. It's just endless, right? You look up for a ceiling, and it's endless. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. So you'll go in there, and you'll go to the shelves and the drawers, and you'll pick out some movies and some books and some pictures about your life experiences. And then you'll go sit in an easy chair, and you'll see this rectangle, this white rectangle, just floating and thin in midair. And you'll watch some of the movies, you'll read some of the books, you'll look at some of the pictures. You have a good time. And you might use some things as references and say, yeah, I could probably try this a different way than I did then, and it might work. But we don't stay there. We'll do this, and then we'll put everything away. We'll turn off the light, shut the door, and we'll move forward in life. And on occasion, we'll revisit it. Now, all of us will go into the future as well, tomorrow. We do that because we get anxious, hurried, sometimes a little flustered, discontent. We got to know things. You ever had that burning desire that just kind of overwhelms you, that you got to know something? And so we go into the tomorrow path, the future, and we seek external authority. External authority is psychics, clairvoyants, card readers, numerologists, astrologers, pendulum readers, crystal readers, pyramid readers, all kinds of source information, external reality. So we'll go out and we'll ask. It could be with a psychic, right? The psychic says, what would you like to know? Well, I'd like to know when I'm going to have enough money to enjoy my life. That seems to be a prevalent question. It's worded in many different ways, but it's pretty much the same. And so the psychic will come through and say, well, I see that you're going to come into a massive amount of money in a very short period of time. in a few weeks, and you're not going to expect it, and it'll come out of clear blue. And then some inquisitive people will say, well, where's it coming from? Why do you care? Say, and so you take a cross section of three different responses. The first person, did the psychic reading for fun, and it wasn't. They have no concentration with it. They don't believe it. They think it's silly, and it was just for giggles, right? And so they blow it off. The second person really embraces it, white knuckles it, grips it, puts it in the calendar, counts the hours, forms expectations and attachments to the outcome of it, right? The third person takes it in, embraces it, and then makes sure that it's clear and concise to the universe and lets it go. They have total trust. They have no doubt in themselves and the universe. Period. They trust the universe 24/7 implicitly. They know the universe has their back all the time, always has. Okay? And the only shift with the universe, with any of us, is that we will negate the universe from supporting us. And it doesn't mean we do it on purpose. A lot of the times we're not consciously aware that we actually do that. Again, it's being too controlled by the ego mind. So out of those three, right, the first two, once in a blue moon, okay, because the one that didn't care about it and has no belief or trust, it's random. The one in the center, they're so fixated and they're so gripping and holding on tight and expectations and attachments that they push it away. The third one, easy peasy. It'll manifest, period. They're not, in their own way, they're not blocking the flow of abundance. They have a higher vibrational frequency. They put that intent, and they designed it that way. Now, when we look at everything around us, the biggest illusion for this civilization, or any civilization for that matter, is separation. It's huge. And because of the separation, we are mostly controlled by the ego mind. Do you honestly think, right, no matter how it's instigated, through the heart mind, do you think there'd be any wars on this planet, or would have ever had war? You think it'd be all this secrecy, all this conflict, all this darkness, all this murkiness, this goopiness? You think any of that would exist through the heart, mind, and the now? No, it wouldn't exist. It couldn't even begin to exist. All this external stuff that we're bombarded with, right? When is the sky going to fall next? When is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? Okay? And so it distracts our power. And we're all very, very, very omnipotently powerful beings in these bodies. So it distracts us. And it focuses our attention on manifesting things we don't desire to have. In this life, in this world, this planet. So the major shift of the collective consciousness of planet Earth, Gaia Arya, the shift is in the direction and is going at very quick clip of turning this planet into a paradise. And for the civilization to work in harmony together, see, as one, to work as one, to know that we are all one, We are part of each other, the gods that we are in these bodies. We are not separate. None of us are separate. That's the illusion. And working together, moving together, forward motion, high energy, high positivity, through the heart-mind, and we'll have a God-planet paradise. It's already a God planet. And I mean, we've got 8 billion gods in humanoid forms. And then we've got all the gods housed in all the other forms. See this energy, this God force, love, light energy? What do you think life is? It's the God. It's that cosmic energy that we all are. When you inhabit something, it lives. When you leave it, it ceases. Pretty common sense. There are different forms of gods in different ways, and nutrients and blood and so many different things. Elementals, all being inhabited by other gods. Now, some people have a hard time putting their head around this because that's how everything rolls. Okay? And if you can influence a major collective into believing certain things and being separate, then you create conflict and destruction, elimination, annihilation, hatred, anger, greed, fear, all those things. So is it a negative that we have those when we enter these bodies? Not really. It basically gives us an opportunity to learn what we are not. See? It gives us that up. It affords us that opportunity to learn what we are not. To learn that we're not the body, that we're not the character, the personality, the name, the status. We're the God. We're not the ego mind, subconscious mind, the illusions. We're heart mind. We're the God. We're not into tomorrow or yesterday. We're in the now. So those of us in these meditations are consciously aware to a certain extent. What that means is that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. We know that there are parts of us, the gods that we are, that are stone cold asleep. We love them just as dearly as we love the parts of ourselves that are awake. We don't fret about it. They'll wake up in their own time. So we focus on the high vibrational frequency of pure, deep, eternal love. And we habitualize ourselves in the now. We practice now. And we increase our vibrational frequency of abundance and prosperity. When you look and view all of the effort that many of us put into so many different directions in this life, right? Instead of putting it where? You, the God that you are. The journey within. Mastering the ego mind, subconscious mind. This is where the energy should be. This is where the attention should be. So, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. continues to intensify, grow, and expand. We form the gods that we are within these bodies. A white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Now, this light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. You could take 1 trillion suns, bunch them all together, and they would pale in comparison to the light that we are within these bodies. And this is pure, deep, eternal love. And we're saturating this planet, permeating it, flooding it. Infinity and beyond. This isn't temporary. It is infinity and beyond. It's forever. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. All lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. All souls that have taken on too much darkness. All a rogue AI goop. All of it is being mitigated. We begin to ascend above the planet. We are met by what we call an ocean of glitter. It is massive. It's everywhere. The ocean of glitter, the glitter is us, the gods that we are. It is our reflection. And these bright, sparkling glitters everywhere. Nothing like you would see on this planet, way beyond that. So we're always curious, so we'll pursue the reflective particles, little teeny microscopic mirrors. And we enter them and we discover that all of us are one, right? All of us gods are one. And we're each experiencing different avenues in different physical forms. And we're teaching each other. So doesn't it make sense that not all of us, right, enter humanoid form? Some of us, and we've all done this. We've been bears and tigers and dogs and cats and cows and horses and birds and leaves and trees and bushes and water. So what happens is that since we're collective, we're all one, pieces of us are all out there experiencing different things, different times, different places, right? Not just this quadrant of the Milky Way galaxy, but the whole Milky Way galaxy and this universe and all connecting universes, infinity and beyond. So when you're in the heart-mind, right, you decide that my journey is the heart-mind. It's not the ego-mind. It's not out there. All right, it's not the material physical world. It is the journey within me to discover the God that I am. So when you do this, you start to, you notice things. You notice that what is, just like when you were a kid, you're really curious. Something might draw your attention. It could be a bug crawling on the ground. It could be anything. And all of a sudden, you're just drawn to it. You start staring. You start going, wow, that bug it's traversing, to that bug, that's a huge world. Every little divot and everything's like a valley for that bug. And look at how it maneuvers. I wonder how I would do as that bug. Okay? And then you see a bird flying overhead. You just think it's just random. It isn't. What is the bird teaching me? What is the God within that bird teaching me? Free, soaring, relax, ease, hard the one. I mean, think about it. And so many of these things, since so many of us are in the ego-mind journey, we miss them. We miss them. Right? Not a bad thing. We just miss them. So we're always teaching each other. And all you got to do is look around you. And there's inevitably always going to be another part of you trying to get a message to you. Only for you, guy. Okay? At that time and space. So we create columns of light. Why do we do that? Why do we do that as the gods that we are in these bodies? We do have a little amnesia. So we got to be reminded of some things, kind of jog our memories. So it's like we're met with the omnipotently powerful emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This has been created to remind us, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing these bodies. We're not there quite yet, but we're moving there. Then we have the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are in these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We should be reminded of that, We should. Not through the ego mind, the heart mind. It's very helpful. Then we come across the white fire. Right? White fire column of light. This imbues us with a white fire armor, right? The white fire emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. It's pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. Now, as long as we maintain that frequency, the white fire armor is impregnable. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. No demon possession, no attachments, nothing. The lower dark matter frequencies cannot hold their form with such a high frequency. They'll vaporize, so they stay away. Now, only you have the power. That if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, and only you can decide that, whether consciously or unconsciously, hatred, anger, greed, fear, envy, revenge, manipulation, dishonesty, worry, stress, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, we've created fail-safes, the gods that we are in these bodies. First one is a double column of light. The purple transmuting flame is the first part of the column of light. Reminds us that we bring in the purple transmuting flame. We transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance. We send them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Second part of the column of light is the violet ray. This reminds us to bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. Cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. We then come into full contact with golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we, the gods, created to remind us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the trees and the forest and the soils and the animals. We are the clouds and the skies. We're everything. Everything is us. We have always been everything. So regularly when we see something, a vista, magnificent, beautiful setting, a sunset, a sunrise, oceanfront, mountain view, whatever it may be, we're at awe. We take pictures, right? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that sunset. And we're in a belief of separation, see? So when through the heart mind, and you've discovered at least that you're the God and not the body, and you're the God in the body, not the body, you look at that sunset and say, that is the God that I am. You do it through your heart mind, not the ego mind. That river over there, that's the God that I am. the bird, the everything. That's the God that I am. Now, we continue to ascend, right? We're always ascending. So we continue to ascend above the planet. And some of us, right, decide to step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do that is because we can, and it's fun. We come into contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We, the gods in these bodies, created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. Center of the column is a massive oblong sphere. Center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. We discover that the golden white bowl of light, that this has created a super bright, white, sparkling, reflecting, glittering cloud, mist. It's absorbed through the heart-mind. It feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Then we begin to understand that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of this tower, we, the gods in these bodies, created it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, infinity and beyond. As it's doing now, saturating and permeating and flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And what is the golden ocean? Pure, deep, eternal love. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere. All of us gods within these bodies created this sphere almost 4.5 years ago. It's moving towards holding 1,900 meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent. Part of the collective consciousness of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And we are transforming this planet. And this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Continues to grow, intensify, and expand. And let's say that you would like to watch the transformation, right? Through meditation, through the heart, mind, through the breath, and you watch. This is all you do. You're not there to judge. And so you see that we, the gods in these bodies, created this golden white pink light atmosphere. It's shimmering. You can walk through it. You can float through it, right? And it's everywhere. The sky, it's on the ground, it's everywhere. And you notice that all of this black matter is it looks like it's being evacuated from the planet, right? It's being vacuumed off the planet. Everywhere. Everywhere you look. And you see it as it flashes, as it goes through this golden white pink light field. And then it disappears. The higher it gets, and then eventually it just vanishes. It's gone. Where'd it go? It was literally transmuted into neutral light substance, and it was delivered to the pure consciousness, the collective consciousness, and it no longer exists. And this is what's happening on this planet. And it's not a temporary thing. It is eternal. We will not just go to 5D, right? We will go into 5D because of our collective consciousness and our vibrational frequency intentionally put higher by each of us, the gods that we are in these bodies. And we will go to 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21, and on. Remember, this is an endless journey. There's no finish line. This moment is our opportunity to embrace our divine existence. Nothing is holding us back. Our skeptical minds are not who we truly are. So we simply let it go. The burdens we carry do not exist. They are all in the illusions of the mind. Stop thinking, planning, and pretending. It is too much effort to always be doing. So just stop randomly throughout the day today. Go directly to the source of who you really are. Forget about everything that you should be. Remain fixed upon what is real and true inside you. So during this quiet time meditation for the next 7 minutes or so, breathe slowly and deeply and release all the heaviest illusions which you get caught in that weigh you down every day. I'll join you in the meditation and I'll return to close us out.
Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath in, out through the mouth. Be still. Start your day with the simple practice of relaxing your body from head to toe. The more your body relaxes, the more your mind will be at ease, and the greater the inner peace will be. After your body is relaxing or relaxed, bring your mind to stillness by visualizing a large, beautiful, calm lake that is as smooth as glass. Let your mind merge with the water. However long it takes to reach this quiet stillness, keep sitting until your mind drowns in the complete stillness of the lake. When you get a good dose of stillness, you will see you have full access to the highest universal power and intelligence available in this universe. Take this with you for the rest of the day into evening, night, following morning. We'll return here tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Time for Change call, and Thursday, July 28, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation